Great. Well, seeing
Okay.
we have a quorum, I'll
You
go
got
ahead
this.
and call this work session to order, October 11th at 6:30. Discuss options for the future use or potential sale of the Annex Building. All of council has a packet in front of them, and I'll turn it over to administration to start, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As stated in the agenda statement, that we've had a previous discussion about this, and one of the, a couple items that we needed to bring back to you was regarding the food bank, and He Will Provide, who operates out of the Annex Building. We were originally told that there was a lease to 2025. That in fact is not the case. We are on a monthly lease at this time. So that, I wanted to bring that information back to you. And in thinking about the annex and possible sale and the timing of possible sale, I actually would like to propose that we hold off on any sale for actually a couple of years. There's several reasons, but one of them being that if we do sell, then He Will Provide, we'll need to find another location. This will give them time to do so. And also that the Parks and Rec building, as you know, there's going to be the trade of land, and with the Coast Guard, and the Parks and Rec will go into the Coast Guard building. We are still a couple of years out from that, and we do have a need to get them out of their existing building. And the location that we're considering is the annex, to move them into the annex. So we have a couple of factors that we would like to have more time to sort out. And so that would be my thoughts, and of course then any direction you might have, anything you'd like to add to that. Any questions also that you might ask.
Does anyone on council mind if I ask if there's any comments from the public?
No, that's good.
Okay. Is there any folks in the public that would like to make comments? Go ahead.
I'm Sharon Yanzer. I'm president of He Will Provide, and I'm just
Hey
here.
Sharon, it would be great.
Oh.
And it's just so we can hear your voice. Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm Sharon Yanzer. I'm president of He Will Provide. I'm just here tonight to listen to what the council has to say, and get information and find out how soon we need to start looking for a new house.
Great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do.
You want me to come up?
Yeah, just so, just since we're recording the work session, please. Thank you.
Head outside.
Oh,
city
is that
limits.
microphone on?
I don't think so.
It's on the top of the microphone. Thank you.
Lynn Paquette, outside city limits. So I wish that the strategic plan had been updated before you take any more action on land sale. Because there's some really big things that need to happen. One of them, as I've talked about before, is replacing this building. It's got asbestos, it's got lead paint, it's not insulated. You're spending a lot of money on heat every winter. But that's not like written down anywhere. And it keeps sort of just like floating along, and I just feel like at some point, if we want to hold, you know, the 30 to 50 year image of Seward and where we're going, which is what we should be doing, we need to think all those pieces through before you let a piece that's right here go, right? I mean, I understand what's going on at Public Works, and that, you know, makes sense, but I really just would love to put the brakes on any more land sales until the strategic plan's been looked at and updated, because it's nobody's done anything with it since 1999. So those are my thoughts. Thank you.
And I just might add, I don't think council has made any determinations or voted on this building. I know a previous city manager was pretty hot on relocating this building, but I don't think that ever came to council. And someone can correct me if that's misremembering. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Diana Owens. I'm with the food bank as well. But I'm puzzled because the last document I saw, we were leasing until 2025. And I haven't seen any document that obliterates that. So, and I'm hoping that should this go through, and you actually sell us out here, that you will help us find another spot in Seward because they're hard to come by. Thank you.
Well, and to that point, I think that you went to look for that lease and it was never fully executed, is that correct?
Stephen did all the research on it, so.
So there was a note in the appraisal report that you have in your packet this evening from McSwain that makes that assertion, but to our records, there's nothing in legislative history, there's nothing in the file, there's no documentation that we've been able to locate to that effect. The only documentation that we've been able to locate, like I said, is just a note that's listed by McSwain and Associates in their appraisal report.
Christiana, you came in late, we're doing public comment, did you have a comment? Okay. Well, and just to clarify, the council hasn't made any, like, we're having the work session to consider it, so we haven't made any determinations with this building. Council comments, go ahead.
I also remember that it was way out for the food bank. Last we talked about them having a contract or to rent, and that's when we dropped the rent to where you can do it. That's the time they said it was going to be until like 25 or 26, something like that.
Well, I think the problem, well, so that resolution is here, but it doesn't have that 2025. So I don't know if that organization has a copy of, yeah.
No, I've also been looking through all of our files to try and find that date on there, and the only thing I could find was the original agreement, which was 2013, and it said it ends in 2018 with the option to renew after that. So if that were the case, it was 2013, not 2025, and I cannot find any record that says 2025.
Which regardless, I think we're all, I don't think that that really matters, but it would just be,
No.
I think we need to clarify.
Yeah,
that's
I was
what-
just trying to find where that
Yeah,
was, and
yeah.
I looked through all of our paperwork, and you just
Yeah.
have to, can't find anything.
So I think it would be a good idea to make sure that we get that right after this work session. I mean, make sure that there is, whatever is decided, we may have to come up with a new resolution or something, but, you know, that should be very clear. But in any event, I'm firmly convinced that it's time to just wait and hold off on doing anything with the Annex Building for the reasons that the administration said. We need the space for Parks and Rec. We've got the food bank there. We've got, you know, things there. And having, I don't know how much money we spent on this appraisal, but it's very thorough, and it's going to cost us money to tear it down. And anyway, I think that we should just, at least until 2024, because of the Coast Guard switching over with Parks and Rec, this would just facilitate everything. So my recommendation would be just to let it sit for a couple years, 3 years, 2024 at least.
Are there any other comments from council? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I do agree that holding on would probably be a good thing. I did appreciate administration reaching out, but also looking at it, we do pay about $20,000, $20,000 to $25,000 extra in maintenance every month or every year. So that's also another $60,000 to $70,000 in the next 3 years. So just keeping that in mind as well, that would be an extra cost. Would that be saved by not operating anymore in the warehouse? If maybe that numbers could be brought up to kind of see what we are saving by moving them from there, and a little more played out on what we can see, less from $20,000 to $25,000 a year that we are paying in extra maintenance to maintain that building to safe for occupancy.
So to administration, I think that, oh, go ahead, Pat.
Before you, I'm Patty Linville. I used to work in that building a lot, but I just had a kind of a housekeeping thing on the appraisal, and I sent an email to Jeanette today. On page 22, the last sentence on the first paragraph said, it says, I guess I put my glasses on. The reported construction costs speaking of the new library museum, reporting construction costs for the new project was 7.4 million when the project was planned. Ultimately, the actual costs were reported to exceed 20 million, and that is not true.
Right, I got that
It's 10
too.
million, and I think I'd like that to be changed, because if this is an accepted document, and it does say in the preface that it is true, so we need to change that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Patty, good note.
Good call.
So administration, you're not hearing any argument from council on your recommendation. I think that it's good that we always assess the extra or the property that we have and make sure it's being used to its fullest and best value. Are there any contrary opinions before we end the work session? Do you need anything else from us?
No, ma'am.
I just have a question, and what is in there now? It's just community development, isn't it? And
Electric department, community development, the food bank's in the basement, or the ground story. I think that's all. Is there storage, is there general storage in there?
Correct.
And also general storage. But part of the plan is that Parks and Rec warehouse needs to be vacated for structural issues, so having some folks in there might be.
Parks and Rec used to be there, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were there previously.
One person. It goes full circle.
Yeah.
Any other final comments for the good of the order, and we'll all have a break before the regular meeting? Okay, with that, I'll adjourn. Thank you.